I dearly don't like to push, outrage buttons and outrage cannons, but honestly, what the actual fuck? There's just nothing really to say. Like, where do they go here from? It's just absurd. It's absurd, and it honestly should not exist. Let's be honest here. It's literally against the law to lie about people, claiming you're a journalist and lying about people. So apparently, according to Buzzfeed's MI6 source, anonymous source, is just an MI6 agent. Ooh, I'll mail a letter to fucking Drudge Report and claim I'm an MI6 agent, and they'll totally publish that. I'm kind of joking here, but I'm just saying standards are standards. Oh, look, I'm a Navy SEAL expert sniper, recon Delta Ops. I have this story that I decided to make in Google Publish Docs, and here you go. Here's my source. Ding! Like, come on. Come fucking on. Do you think I was born yesterday? Do you think I'm Suey Parks, for fuck's sakes? I'm getting absurd. This is ridiculous. Like, who oh, it was Russia. Russia did it. Russia did it. Hacking Russia. Although it was actually a phishing email. That was sent to the RNC as well. That the RNC security team was on top of and gave whoever the RNC guy was the correct information not to open the phishing email. But of course, it was Russia and our source. Very very top men in the CIA, very very top agents, high up, came from all the way high up, confirmed by 3 agencies. Yeah, yeah, that's fucking brilliant. But seriously, the claim this time is that Donald fucking Trump is some spiteful little bitch that has contacts in the Russian embassy / KGB and was able to get information on where, I guess, Michelle Obama's hotel room would be, so that he could do some, hire some hookers and do some pissy porn type nonsense that only deplorable people get off on, honestly. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you people that actually like that shit. And so apparently that's what Donald Trump did, just to get back at, because he hates Obama, he's racist, he hates Michelle Obama, he hates women, he likes to piss on women or something like that. I don't know what the fuck you guys are on. You guys are honestly fucked up and fucked out of your mind. For one, half the people in America probably don't even know this exists because they're well over, 25, 30, right? The millennial generation is not 40% of the American population or voting constituents yet. And so the fact that once they hear about this, like, what sick fuck would make this up? Because they're looking at this like, what type of sick fuck? Like, if this is fake news, obviously, and they're looking at this critically and not like some old person that was born yesterday that's gullible to CIA, Russia hacking, I'm with her type crap. They're going to look at this like, what, this is just fucked up. And then they look at it with a critical stance. Oh, really? An MI6 agent? You think I was born yesterday? I'm 60 years old. And they're like, what type of sick crap did you guys make up? How do you know what this is? Why is this your go-to to try to discredit Trump? Like, are you fucking serious? What? Clearly, we know what your sick fantasy is, and I actually tweeted that at one thing, and that's how I found out that I'm shadow banned, because I tried to look it up with my non-shit posting account or non-YouTube account, basically, and yeah, I found out that I guess I'm shadow banned because it didn't show up. That's quite interesting. But yeah, honestly, seriously, this is just absurd. Like, why can't you make legitimate, like, even let's say you're gonna make a fucking lie that Trump is deplorable, right? Let's make up a lie that Trump is deplorable. What are we gonna make up? Let's make up something that's actually reasonable. Like, for example, maybe he's an adulteress. Oh, he cheated on his wife 3 or 4 times, and we caught him with a hooker. I might actually believe that fake news story because it's not fucking absurd. Now, of course, I would definitely, with all the Trump shit that's circulating around with him and just absurdity, I might actually fact check that if I heard that, instead of this pissy porn crap. But without the whole stigma of, the fake news, the pot calling the kettle black fake news type people and organizations, without that whole, this crap about Russia and everything like that, I might actually believe you guys. I might genuinely believe you if you didn't have a reputation of being fucking liars, if it was something that was a lie that was not absolutely fucking absurd. It was a lie that made some reasonable sense, that we have an anonymous source that, Trump cheated on his wife because he's an adulterous son of a bitch. And I might actually believe that, because I'm sorry, but that's a believable lie when we're talking Donald Trump. I'm not exactly, especially with the Billy Bush tape. Rather than going on and saying he admitted to sexually assaulting women, that's complete bogus. What, listen to the tape. They let him do it. They let you do it. Yeah, fucking retarded. But this gets me just absolutely absurd. There's the amount of fake news headlines and actual fake news coming out is really pissing me off. This has been a problem with the internet, but it's really ramped up here. And the less it's basically like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter started out less egregious. They started out with pushing the bar a little bit further, and then pushing a little bit further. Doing politically stupid obviously they started off with Ferguson and bullshit riots like that, but then they start off with some marches where they're chanting some egregious things, and then they do some more of those, and then they start doing some riots where they start beating up white people, and then they start, it goes from the police to whatever they feel like doing, and then they start shooting the police, assassinations on the police, and then they kidnap a retard person and scalp them. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this 1776 with the Indian Wars? Like, for fuck's sakes. Anyways, you can see where it's going, and that's where I feel like with the whole genuinely perpetrating fake news, you keep pushing the bar a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. It's like letting a child get away with shit until it's just fucking out of hand. And if you don't buy them the fucking Lego set in the store, they will fucking throw the biggest fucking tantrum and just trash the whole fucking store instead of just being like, "Oh, but Mom." It used to be that 3 years ago, but now they will fucking flip the fuck out. Where is the line with crap journalism? Where is the line? And that's really what it's going to come down to is I honestly want to see these places burn. I just want to see, at this point, I want to see CNN, Buzzfeed, MSNBC, all these places just fucking burn. Burn. Burn, burn, burn. Burn, bitches, burn. Like, burn to the fucking ground. Fuck you. Advertisers pull out. Nobody watches your clicks on your shit. They've had enough of your clickbait. But honestly, I don't see that happening. Because people are fucking stupid and they have no time to care about actually looking up their sources. As a politically active person like myself, and like all you probably listening out there, we do not have time to discern all the bullshit that's put out there on the internet. Like, think about how many fucking YouTube videos are put out there. YouTube can't monitor their YouTube videos. Obviously, not all of them are about politics, but you think that's just one website. It's a really big website, but imagine how much political videos are put out there, and imagine how many of them are perpetrating crap. Just imagine how many of those, queer kid stuff and feminist frequency and, CNN, I don't know, partisan, I'm with her, Casey, whatever, whoever the fuck that YouTuber was that got paid to shill for Hillary, like all this crap, Black Lives Matter pundits, imagine all these YouTube morons, essentially, that essentially perpetuate actual fake news on YouTube, and nobody rebuts them because there's just too much of that shit out there. There is a limit where the free market can't really do a whole lot about, especially journalistic integrity, when you have a populace that doesn't give a crap about this, and frankly, is like, as honestly, this is, I really want to do a video on this coming up, but The Sounds of Silence by Simon Garfunkel, holy fucking shit. I listened to this song a fair amount of times, and I usually pick up the political message of music very easily, I'm not a dumb person when it comes to this stuff, and it took me a while to figure this one out, what they were actually saying. It was probably the most brilliant political message that I've heard out of music, I've ever heard out of music. Like, honestly, it's brilliant, but people just are here to be entertained. They don't give a crap about speaking up or being politically active. All they care about is, their Snapchat filters, what's going on with the Kardashians, and, the new Justin Bieber album. Like, seriously, that's my fucking generation that needs to be smacked upside the fucking head, because they have some serious fucking issues, and they need to grow the fuck up, There isn't, virtue signaling to say, oh, fuck Trump just to get laid is not a very important priority in your fucking life. It should not be. Maybe if you had a fucking house because you had a real fucking job because you actually worked hard, you might be able to pick up women with relative ease, whores or good women that would marry you and be faithful. You know what I mean? So what the hell do we do about this? What does Donald the Don do about this? We got to do it. I honestly feel like this has got to have to be a Ronald Reagan air traffic controllers type thing. He has to essentially at least burn one of them in order, or make a fucking example out of one of them. He has to. I mean, I'm not in favor of enforcing inflammation laws or whatever, but the fact is the fact. We have a problem with journalists, so-called journalists, lying and sacrificing their integrity just to be fucking asshole liars. We have a fucking problem, people. I don't know what else to say. I think the best, let's offer a genuine solution, and maybe the best way to do it is take the worst fucking example, which may be this Buzzfeed fucking examples, or take the worst fucking examples on CNN for specific journalists, or take at least one organization that wholly is complete crap, and literally put them, executive order them straight to a court case. You know what I mean? Like, rather than all the due process of you blah, 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 put them straight in front of a grand jury and make your case in 6 months because you're going to jail otherwise, kind of thing, right? I feel like that might be the best possible compromise between authoritarianism and libertarianism, or liberalism, not libertarianism, liberalism, because, your political divide. I'm not some big, like, for example, I'm a realist. I understand the reality of situations. Sometimes you have to fucking put your boot down and hire 60 new cops to the police force in order to force law and order. That's just a reality. If you have a fucking problem, you have to do something about it now, but hopefully, move away from that in the future once you get a handle and grasp on the situation. And in order to solve this fucking problem, you're gonna need to be a fucking asshole about it, an authoritarian dick a little bit, just to, actually get something done. Now, in order to ensure that we have liberty in the province, we can't just, start pulling executive orders, just throwing journalists that, straight into jail. That's pretty Stalinist. That's not gonna work. That's really fucked up. Let's be honest here, and that would just, it throws everything out the window. And I frankly, even as a political move, that's a really bad political move. Even if people, I don't think enough people agree with even that. And so I think the best thing is to really push, essentially, push a case, push a legal case. I don't know exact details, but essentially, push a nice, highly publicized case and just straight up, no, BuzzFeed, you're appealing. You're appealing straight. I don't give a damn. I'm using an executive order to put you straight in front of justices, and your fate of whether it's going to be 10, 5, or 20 years in jail is going to be in their hands. You better make your fucking case in 6 months, because that's when your court case is due, right? You know what I mean? Like something like that. Just, we need fucking results, and we need to fucking put these liars in line. We need something to put these liars in line. There needs to be some sort of precedented push that, no, you are breaking the fucking law, and you need to be essentially held account. Stop lying to people, because you are essentially abusing your power as so-called, quote-unquote, journalists. You're allowed to call yourself a journalist, yet you're allowed to lie about fucking attack choppers and going down in RPGs and nonsense. Just come the fuck on. Thankfully, with this Showergate crap, Ola, we have a lot of mainstream publications like Guardian, New York Post, even left-leaning ones like I said, Guardian, I think CNN as well, are frankly just like, no, we're not touching this with a 10-foot pole. In fact, we're not just not touching this with a 10-foot pole, we are decrying it as genuine fake news. Fuck you, BuzzFeed, we're not going under with you. And that's at least heartening, to say the least. Even though that they have done things like, for example, Brian Williams with his Iraq chopper bullshit. Yeah, that's obviously fake news that they have done. Usually when they have lied or fucked up, they will have retractions. Unfortunately, those retractions tend to be very smaller, much smaller than the statements themselves, and so 10 people will know about the fake news story, and only 4 will know about the retraction. That's annoying. That's frustrating. But I just, there needs to be a precedent and set. There needs to be some sort of fucking serious consequences to fucking liars. That's how you're gonna get liars to stop lying. I mean, genuinely. People keep doing it is because how many journalists that have promoted or written articles that were fake news stories, how many of them have received real career consequences? How many of them have received consequences where perhaps their primetime spot was lost, or something where their news organization fired them? No, we're not seeing that, especially in the current year or the last year that just happened. It's not happening. It's a lot of fucking lies have come out, and a lot of people have not been held account. They have not received their fucking genuine consequences. Like, these are legally abiding. You know what I mean? Like, this is legal crap. Not to mention the other stuff that's, frankly not, it's more tiptoeing the law, so to speak, but it's technically not straight up, like a clear-cut case of legality. And frankly, it's still lying at the same time. At the same token, because you're frankly pushing, stories that frankly have no credence, right? It's difference between like, oh, we have no proof that this is a confirmed source of an MI6 agent, but this is our source, which frankly could be any fucking dipshit with, oh, guess what? I'm a Navy SEAL, Delta Ops, secret Black Ops intelligence agent. Take my word for it. Like, for fuck's sakes, come on. That's absurd. And frankly, oh, but it's probably not true. That's literally their narrative. Oh, it's probably not true, but we're just publishing something that came into us. Well, are you fucking serious? That's not integrity. Integrity means you have a story that you have something concrete on. For example, House of Cards. Lucas, the Lucas guy that was going mad over Frank Underwood 2016, basically Bill fucking Clinton, let's call it that was a really fucked up individual and murdered somebody. He didn't have proof. So his journalist place did not publish anything. That the Herald did not publish it. Same with his boss. His boss was a little bit more, older, wiser, less ideologically driven, and he searched high and fucking low for proof. And eventually he started to get onto something, but he was using journalistic integrity. You fuckers are not. And this is why y'all belong, to some extent, some of you, in a fucking jail cell. Because you are the real hacks that are undermining democratic elections. If there were not as many dumb, uninformed Hillary supporters, I have a feeling Trump would have won a serious popularity. Because that cretin was fucked up beyond all reason. How many people I talked to on fucking Twitter that said, oh, the emails? That's fake news. It's just a Russian hack. Meh. Where have I heard that from? CNN. MSNBC. Seriously, you fucking liars. It is not Russia that is the proponents of undermining democratic elections. It is fucking you hacks. You partisan hacks that sit at fucking tables and ask whether or not you can publish interviews with Hillary Clinton checking with her campaign manager. That's how much of hacks you are. The campaign manager should not be the editor for the interview you do with the fucking Democratic presidential candidate. That's fucked up. Should not be having house parties with these fucking people. You're liars. I'm sorry I'm being very harsh here, but basically, it feels like a popularity contest. This sounds exactly like fucking high school. It doesn't matter if you're the one who, the truth doesn't matter in high school gossip circles. What matters is whether you have the biggest microphone or megaphone, rather, to essentially perpetrate whatever you want the truth to be. History is won by the victor, or in this case, the truth is written by the guy or the girl with the biggest megaphone. I'm sorry, but there's no bigger megaphone than CNN fucking and MSNBC and Fox News. You all have a responsibility to not be fucking hacks. Same with other secondary but yet very large media organizations that try to pass off as if they're legitimate, such as Huffington fucking Post, or Buzzfeed, or Daily fucking Beast, or even the Daily Stormer. You guys lie a lot. Well, I mostly disagree with your spin. I don't know if you actually perpetrate genuine fake news, but I know your spin is fucking horrible and terrible. But honestly, you guys have fucking responsibility. And you're hacks, no one trusts you, and if you do not fucking grow the fuck up and grow paranuts, and the Dawn does not do something that is, frankly, what I suggested that I think is more than reasonable, and there continues to be a fucking problem with fake news, the consequence will be worse. It will be not people chanting at the CNN headquarters saying, Clinton News Network, you're fake news, basically, right? They won't be holding protests. They'll be burning your fucking building down, and they'll be ripping your reporters out and throwing them on the guillotine, for fuck's sakes. Like, if it does get worse. Because it can get bad. Everything can get really fucking bad. Like, that was one of the philosophies I always had as a kid, is I live in Canada, one of the greatest countries on the earth, and it can be a lot fucking worse. So maybe you should think how fucking bad it can get, especially in America, where there's a fucking Second Amendment and a lot of fucking firearms in the hands of reasonable, law-abiding citizens. I'm just saying that, because that's the whole point of that amendment right, is to defend against tyranny. And in this case, it's a tyranny of liars. People will get pissed off at you. And just, I've been ranting on for a while, but honestly, this is really starting to piss me off. Take your fucking job seriously. Why do you think I'm here? I'm not making any money at this. I'm just doing it for the fucking hell of it, or frankly, just because I think I have a civil responsibility to be, frankly, about as honest as possible. You know, I'm a one-man show that knows, like, I don't have all day to fucking look up fucking articles or a whole team behind me or anything like that, but seriously, why the fuck am I doing my job better than you are? Like, this is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. I don't want people to march your buildings with pitchforks, but god damn it, that's going to be the consequence if you don't smarten the fuck up. This is a early, distant warning. This is not a threat by any means. This is a fucking warning that this is going to be the result. This is a prediction. Chopped Onion, Nostradamus prediction of 2017. The liars will be thrown into the streets and mutilated or something like that. I don't know. Whatever anger that the mob feels that they feel like doing. But seriously, this situation needs to be fucking handled, guys. I know I'm being very extreme here, but I frankly, I think it's reasonable to push my outrage button here, I guess. This is just absolutely absurd, and it's getting so fucking annoying, not to mention when these are the guys that made up the fair narrative, Breitbart and everything that's on the right wing that's pro-Trump is fake news. I'm going to make up a lie and then decry everyone that calls me out as liars. Fucking unreal. Like I said before, I think in the Black Lives Matter tweets, the fake news epidemic is going to be seriously the big story of 2017. Brexit and Trump were the big story of 2016, and you know, essentially the the destruction of narratives such as racism and xenophobia and this, that, and crap like that, for the most part, or at least the first steps of undermining them by the silent ballot box, the silent Trump supporter. But 2017 is going to be, at least for the very least, one of the narratives is big war zones is going to be the fake news, nonsense / genuine academic. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to go nonstop lying about the now, 9 days from now is going to be the now president, right? They're going to be lying nonstop about this fucker. So it'll be interesting to see if he will, in fact, pull a Ronald Reagan and frankly, hold his words to fire and or roll it off as, it's just lies, people. It's just lies. I mean, they will trust his denials of everything, presumably, even if you come up with something legitimate, because people trust the goddamn president more than they trust you. That's really fucked up, if you ask me. Not that there's anything wrong necessarily with in Donald we trust, but there is when your media organizations lack reputability. People do not trust you. And I just don't know how long this is going to continue. How you want to creep up about your bullshit rhetoric? Well, guess what? People chanting and protesting on Clinton News Network headquarters saying you're lying to us. Those protests will change if the situation does not change. They will ramp up if the situation does not calm down. And now, of course, I think I've beaten that point quite vigorously and dead as a fucking, beating the dead horse. But this is just angering, and I think you can tell by how much harsh rage and outrage and frankly circles that I'm speaking, because this genuinely elicits emotional response out of me when things get really fucked up. Because as we know, when things get fucked up, for example, taking wheelbarrows of money to the fucking store to buy a loaf of fucking bread, like as in 1920s Germany, we end up with fucking Hitler. The last thing America needs is a strong-armed dictator that starts purging the fucking journalists. Because if that president is set even by a benevolent dictator, that precedent is now set. And who knows who the fuck will be the next president and will fuck and be, a straight up fascist. I'm not trying to fearmonger here, but this is a genuine concern. We honestly need to turn things around because the direction we're heading is not good, and it may not be immediately bad next month or 6 months from now or a year from now or even 4 years from now, but in your lifetime, it may very well become really, really fucked up. And frankly, I'm not interested in living under a fascist regime, or at least a fascist regime right below me. That doesn't sound particularly great either. Fucking hell, man. There's not really much else to say. Like I said, please don't fucking riot, but for fuck's sakes, god damn it. You can't deny the reality of angry citizens, and when you don't have change, people will start bringing out the pitchforks. It's just a matter of time. Maybe look up your history of the French Revolution. It was not a particularly brilliant revolution. Even the American Revolution was quite bloody itself, too. fuck. Revolutions are not a good thing, people. Silent revolutions like the Industrial Revolution, those are the ones we want to promote. Anyways, until next time, I guess I'm gonna end the video. I think right here, maybe, yeah. Okay, right now.